this is kind of an open-ended question. Name one specific policy that you haven't mentioned already that you would try to implement to improve the city. So a specific policy that they would implement that they haven't already presented, that they would try to promote to improve the city.
Yeah. I want to think about this one for a second.
I mean, that's...
Would you mind passing on to you while I look at this one? Think about this one?
Yes. But of course, that gives him the right to pass as well.
Yeah.
If everybody passes, then nobody.
Let's see. I'll stand up. Should give me just another 2 or 3 seconds to think of an answer.
Louder.
Let's see. Well, one thing that I thought should have been included in the city budget, and that I would move to include in the city budget if I wind up on the city council, is that I would actually like to see an air quality audit of our public school buildings. I realize this is sort of a small thing, but it's actually not. I've been involved, I'm on the school board here in Providence. I've been involved with this Fix Our Schools Now coalition, which is a statewide group that's been looking at health quality in our public school buildings and trying to change state law to bring more resources to bear on the condition of our buildings. I think we're all aware, school buildings, and I think we're all aware that King has had issues with roof leaks. Classical, of course, has. Central has had mold. Many of the schools are in that circumstance. There's an engineering study that's coming out in about 2 weeks that's going to tell us that in the state as a whole, we have about $2 billion worth of work that we need to do just to bring our schools up to an acceptable minimum, and probably 600 or 700 million of that is Providence. So we don't know often what the air quality is in our public schools. If you talk to kids and you talk to teachers, there are all sorts of airborne illnesses that are frequent and that people have just come to sort of live with. But we have an awful lot of poor kids in our city who have asthma, who have early exposure to lead, and I think it's really, really important for us not to be fearful of the information that might come from something like that. So I realize that sounds like a big sweeping reform, but I think we have nothing to fear from the truth, and I think it's a huge equity issue. Thank you.
I would look at something that addresses issues around mental health. I think that that's a major issue in our city, and also making sure that we provide services for our students as well as people within our neighborhoods. And with the state of what's going to happen with insurance, with our medical insurance, I think it's really important to have something to protect those who have mental health issues, and that we're supporting youth with mental health issues, because there are a group of young people who are between the ages of 17 and early 20s, and some of them didn't go to college, and some of them don't have jobs, and some of them have issues that impact them. So I would like to see something implemented that supports those with mental health issues, especially young adults, and services within the communities that can support them.
We have a lot of businessmen downtown that are getting TSAs, or tax stabilization agreements, with very little community involvement. It's being done behind closed doors. I support a tax stabilization plan for the homeowners and renters of Providence. Your property tax would be frozen for a period of 10 years. It will allow you to paint, make repairs, and make plans for the future by knowing what your tax rate is in advance. It's very, very crucial that people want to invest in their house and invest in the community. The minute you do anything right now, your property taxes goes up. So people are faced with consequences of improving their house, which leads to higher bills. You should be rewarded, not penalized, for investing in the community. Thank you.
All All right, actually one of the policies I actually wanted to address is the fact that our school department has actually dropped the ball recently. We all know what happened with that gym teacher and molestation charges and everything that's going on, and they really dropped the ball. They didn't notify parents. I think we need to actually review that policy and make sure stuff like that doesn't happen again, because if they're not reporting it, and if these teachers are not getting out of school who do this behavior, every kid is at risk in our schools, and they're going to go after the children who can't defend themselves, and the children that boys are going to want to do what they want to do, but it's not right either way. But I think we need to address the fact that the ball was dropped in school department, and we need to review the policy and how we can make sure that administration is held accountable.